Hi, comic book fans, and welcome to another suddenlycomics.com. It's our Monday night. It's the price variance. We have got our regular co-host here, Alan, with his new wall of comics. You are getting a special preview of Alan's new wall of comics. Gone is the Game of Thrones comic throne.
The throne is gone.
Instead, Alan has paid some carpenters to come and build him a wall of comics holder. At the moment, they're all held in by sellotape and they could fall on top of him at any minute. So if you hear
very
crashing noise and you see Alan ducking, that's not that anybody has declared war on Canada. It's his comics falling off. Right. So what are we doing this week? So this week we're revisiting a subject we did before, which is called Oddballs. So this is Oddballs 2. And we're looking at just odd comics for one reason or another. We think they're odd. They've got an odd cover. The artist is odd. There's something odd about it. You know, they're just odd comics. Okay. So go and watch Alan's channel when you finish this. As usual, we've got some great comics up there. And I get into a big dispute with Key Collect Comics because as you got things wrong and I'm right. Okay, Alan, you're the guest. You go first.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a trip back in time. Okay, so we're going to start out with now. We're working with in the modern era, but I'm going to gradually go back in time with the books that I show. So the very first book is from Scotty Young.
Okay.
It's I Hate Fairyland.
Oh yeah, nice book.
I love this book. It's actually a fun read. So basically, the whole story is a little girl gets trapped in fairyland. She comes from our world and she goes into this fairyland world, and she's like, everybody's like, typically like it's almost like Disneyland, like, where everybody's happy and go lucky, and this kid is not that kind of person. She doesn't like the happy lucky stuff. She's like, you can see her, like she's going around killing all these fairyland characters. And she's like, just like, and she doesn't age. So she's like, I'm stuck being like, so she's there for like years and she's like hating the whole experience and she's trying to find a way out.
Okay.
To come back to our world. And, basically she goes on a quest. And the quest is if you get some weird item, like, so the idea is that they bring kids to fairyland so that they can have like magical experience, a happy-go-lucky experience, and that they go on this quest and then they can return back to our world. Okay. That's the thing. But she's kind of inept, and she's more like, let's say there's like, you have to talk to this person in order to go to the next person to talk to, like that kind of typical sequential kind of thing that they do in Dungeons and Dragons or something like that. Well, she would just kill the person and be like, okay, where do I go? But she just killed the person that's supposed to tell her where to go. She doesn't do things in the proper way. So it's taking her forever to do a simple quest kind of thing. So it's just fun. It's quirky. It's, and she's always getting into trouble. And it's a fun series.
It is a fun series. Very good.
And they have two versions. They have I Hate Fairyland. Yes. And then they have the other version, which is
you don't show that on my channel. You have to show
it. It's all I can only show this on Mark's channel. Nudity, swearing, all that is only for Mark's channel. My channel is very PC, so just go over to my channels. Okay, Mark's channel, like, oh my goodness, the disgusting filth on his channel. Okay.
Right. Okay. Right, I'm going to show you. This is interesting. So I picked this up on eBay because I collect Allan Class comics, as you know, and this appeared on eBay. And
oh wow!
Really great cover and really nice condition.
I like the dragon.
Yeah, the dragon's great, isn't he?
Yeah, awesome.
But as usual with Allan Class, there's no date on this. Okay.
Yeah, you have no idea
what is not usual for Allan Class is there's no number on it either.
Oh wow! Right. So you're not even sure what issue it is.
Right. However, I have checked this up. I did actually know what this was before I bought it because I checked it out on the Grand
Mhm.
Expos. So this is a title called, believe it or not, it's called Amazing Stories.
Mhm.
And this was only ran for 2 issues. So
Oh wow,
Alan
very
only,
short.
Alan only did 2 issues of Amazing Stories. This is issue 1, okay, and it's
Mhm.
unnumbered. So yeah, so if you ever see that, and there's no number on it, this is actually issue 1. It's a great looking cover with a
Really great. Kind
fantastic,
of reminds me of the old pulps a bit.
the old. Yes.
Pulp
Yeah,
magazines.
yeah. There's a number of these look quite like pulps, don't they? And the other interesting thing that's it's quirky on here, the name of this story, I don't know if you can see that, it's called The
World of Fury.
Kirby. Okay.
Oh, Kirby. Oh, Kirby.
Kirby.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Wow.
this guy, so it's about a guy called Kirby who has these dreams where he's a hero. Okay. And in real life, he's a wimp. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And he's called Kirby, which is why it's called The Worlds of Kirby. I cannot believe that whoever wrote this story was
Mhm.
not sort of having a sort of gentle rib against Jack Kirby. You know,
Okay.
it theoretically,
Yeah, it seems like.
it theoretically has nothing to do with Jack Kirby, but I can't believe that's just coincidence that it's being called The Worlds of Kirby. So this is an oddball for 2 reasons. Firstly, it's got no number on it, and secondly, it's got this story called The Worlds of Kirby.
That's very cool. I love the cover. I think
Yeah.
that's great. Wow. Okay. So my next book, going a little bit further back, not much further back, is what if Boy Scouts, well, in this case, Girl Scouts, met some like weird phenomena, okay, and that get lumberjanes.
Lumberjanes. I thought you were going to say Paper Girls because that's similar.
Yeah, similar idea. So lumberjanes is kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of I'm trying to remember the name of the show. Gravity Falls a
Yeah.
little bit. That idea of some weird quest that they have to go, some weird mystery, and it's kind of Girl Scouts kind of dealing with these weird things. Um, I'm not sure if they are thinking of making this comic into a TV series or some kids series, but it would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
It is very much written for a younger audience, I would say.
All right.
But it's not a bad read. It was actually quite good. But sort of simple stories, a little bit of mysteries, a little bit of puzzle solving, but just kind of quirky that you got these Girl Scouts, in these kind of weird mystery kind of situations. It is interesting that way. So that's why I chose it. So Lumberjanes, I have the complete set. I bought the complete set because I thought it was worth reading. So yeah. So Lumberjanes.
Nice.
Okay.
So my next one, if you go and watch Alan's show, you'll see me with having a talk about Basil Wolverton.
Mhm.
And this is Basil Wolverton's Planet of Terror.
Oh wow.
Now,
That's a really cool cover.
right, do you know who the artist of that cover is?
Is it Basil Wolverton?
No. Very,
But
very famous comics guy.
um, it's not. It doesn't look like any. I'm not sure who it is.
I'll tell you who it is because you're not going to guess. It's
Yeah,
Alan Moore.
Alan Moore.
That is an Alan Moore cover.
Oh wow! Like I don't think of Alan Moore as being an artist.
No, he's not an art. Well, he's known for being a writer. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
this is Alan Moore cover. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't have guessed that because
Actually, yes, if you look up right, I don't know if you can just see it down there. It says A Moore down on the.
oh wow,
Yeah,
that's really cool. I mean, it's a very cool cover. I mean, he should have been an artist.
yeah, it's not bad, is it? It's not bad at all.
Yeah, kind
Planet
of quirky.
Basil Wolverton's Planet of Terror, cover art by Alan Moore. Now, if that is oddball.
If they got Wolverton to write it and then Alan Moore to do the illustration, that'd be really funny because you get the opposite of what they're known for. That is really weird. I
Yeah,
like that a lot.
yeah, and that's a Dark Horse one. Yeah. Um, nice. Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
turned up in a box of mixed comics. I'd never seen it before. I thought, what the hell's that? And
You know, it,
I went and
yeah,
looked it up on Go Collect, and it said cover art by Alan Moore. And I looked inside,
there you
and
go.
it is Alan Moore who's done the cover art on this.
Yeah, you know what's weird about it? It kind of reminds me of do you remember the I think it's Journey to the Moon? It's like an old movie
Yeah, yeah,
where the
yeah,
rocket
yeah,
hits
yeah,
the
yeah,
moon in the eye and stuff. That's what it
yeah,
kind of reminds me of.
yeah,
That's really cool. I like that. Okay, my next one. Now we're going back. I keep on going back a little bit further. This is from the 70s, I believe. Yeah, I believe 70s. 35 cents. Would that be 70s?
yeah. Yes.
So yeah, so this is Laugh
Oh,
Olympics.
Laugh Olympics.
Yeah, I love this show, by the way. When I was a kid, I used to watch this show on Saturday mornings. But this book just happens to be the first appearance of Captain Caveman,
Oh,
that character
brilliant.
right there. So this is Laugh Olympics #1. And it was such a quirky show. It was just like, they would have these things where, different kind of Olympic events, they'd have teams. This would be Team Shaggy, for example, or
Yeah,
Team Scooby or whatever, probably Team Scooby. And then this would be Team Yogi Bear.
yeah,
And they would all compete against each other. And there would always be like some bad team, like this is the
yeah,
evil,
yeah. Dick
evil
Dawson.
guys,
Dick Dawson.
Ghastlies and stuff like that. Yeah.
The
And then they would
Amazon.
all, yeah. So one of these guys, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. One of these guys is good. So it's like it's kind of a weird thing. But it was a really cool show, and they would just have these really crazy events. I just remember them like making sandbags out of peanut butter or something like that, and then having to stop a water flow and just weird stuff. I loved it when I was a kid. I kind of miss those kind of shows. I think they should bring them back.
Well, one of my favorites was the Wacky Racers. That had the
Yeah, that's the same idea. Same concept.
cavemen in it. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd always kind of like spin his like
Background.
yeah, and fly around and stuff. Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
And Muttley from Dastardly and Muttley could fly, couldn't he? So whenever
Yeah.
Dick
I
Dawson,
think he would use his ears to fly, like make a little helicopter kind of thing.
just brilliant. Okay.
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, my next one is, you may remember, Alan, there was a short period of time where DC and Marvel got together and a series of comics called Amalgam.
Yes.
Did a sort of mash.
I bought the whole collection of
Oh, did
Amalgam
you?
comics.
Okay, well, you
Yeah,
have this.
they're cool.
So one of my favorites out of that was the mishmash between Batman and Wolverine, character Dark Claw. And this is Dark Claw Adventures #1 from Amalgam Comics. The sort of and you can see it there, can't you? It's Batman and Wolverine just become one.
Yeah. Not even like subtle. It was
No, there's no subtlety at all, is there? No subtlety at all. I think this appeared as a cartoon as well. I think it did have its own cartoon.
Oh, really?
I think so.
That's the big issue. I know that's the kind of the most collectible from the
That's
run.
the Amalgam ones. This is the most collectible one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what else? That's just a perfect combination, isn't it? Batman.
Yeah.
And then calling it Dark Claw, I think is just a great inspiration. So yeah, that was my favorite Amalgam character as well. So really,
there's one with I think it's Lobo and Howard the Duck.
oh yeah, Lobo the Duck. Yeah, that's
Lobo the Duck.
Lobo the Duck. I've got that as well.
That's awesome too. That's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, no, actually, that's pretty good as well. I like that one as well. Yeah, Lobo the Duck, and we got Spider Boy, sort of Spider-Man and Superman.
Yeah. So fun stuff. I mean, it was a cool idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, I bought that whole collection because I thought it was so cool. Okay, so the next one is this one, Doll Man.
Oh, nice. I like Doll Man. Yeah.
This is kind of a cool book. This is actually Doll Girl's first appearance. which
And
is kind of cool.
she's the lady in distress in a red dress, of course.
Yeah, of course. You got to have her in distress. She's all tied up too. Perfect. So Doll Man is just this little guy. I mean, he's like that's his whole thing. He's just a little guy.
Yeah.
He I don't know why he's like a little guy, but he is.
Well,
And
there's a history of little guys. There's Ant-Man and
yeah. But this is long before Ant-Man.
yeah. Oh yeah.
This is from the 40s. Just a kind of a fun, kind of quirky character. So one of these characters that was kind of lost to the golden age.
I like that sort of wolf creature in the background. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's a very cool cover. This is a very highly sought after book, actually.
Yeah, nice.
It goes for a few $100s, actually.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I'm showing it the best.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought Dollman's kind of a quirky character. I like these kind of golden age quirky characters. So Dollman is one of them. And I'll show some more soon after this. So this is one.
Okay, my next one is from a series called DC Special, which I've recently got hold of, and this is number 2. Each of the issues of this are completely different. So, like the first issue is sort of focusing on the art of Joe Kubert, with some Joe Kubert reprints. And then the second issue is this one, which is one of these sort of teen romance covers. And it's just, I just think these are so great from this sort of era, from the 60s.
That outfit is so of that.
Just,
even the guy, the green pants and the pink shirt.
I just love the composition of this sort of alone at last, and then there's about 10 other people in the room behind the sofa.
Yeah, it has a very 60s, 70s feel to it.
Very much. And there's even a pair of eyes underneath the sofa. I don't know if you can see them there.
Oh, yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah. So, it's not in great nick. There's a crease going across it, but quite a rare book. These weren't highly printed. And I just like it. I like the sort of innocent sort of
romance kind of
kiss and romance stuff. I don't know who any of these characters are or whether they ever appeared again or ever appeared before, but there we go. DC Special number 2.
Yeah, I mean those kind of things are kind of fun. I've been getting more and more into collecting the romance stuff because the stories are kind of quirky. Like they're pretty, oh, does he love me? And like, that's the typical theme, but they also have like I picked up one recently where it's like this girl on the beach and there's like 6 guys behind her and she's in love with them all. It's like kind of like a really weird situation. And she's like a teenager. So it's just like, wow, this is such a crazy out there comic. Now I've shown this one before, but this is not the one I'm going to show. I've shown Bullet Man before, I think in the Oddball one. Before.
You did show Bullet Man before as the Oddball.
But that's not the one I'm going to show. I just want to tease that.
Right, you're not showing
I like Bullet Man. The one I actually wanted to show, and this is actually kind of interesting, is Catman.
Catman.
And they recently brought him back, strangely enough.
I know, yeah.
But yeah, so Catman, he actually became a DC property later. I actually recently picked up his first appearance in DC Comics, which is Detective 311 or something like that. But the interesting thing about this is he has a side character called Kitten. And now this is just some girl. I think he rescued her. And I think she's like 11 years old or something like that. He's like, okay, you can help me fight crime.
Yeah, 11-year-old girl, I've saved you. Now I'm going to put you in jeopardy every week.
Yeah. It's just the craziest thing. So, she's always getting, beaten up.
I noticed as well, we've got politically incorrect depictions of Asian people.
Oh, yeah. They got the buck teeth and it's, this came out during the wartime. They wanted to kind of, pitch world peace, and this is a good way of doing it. So just, I don't know, I thought it's a quirky comic. It didn't run that long. I think maybe 30 issues or something like that, but Catman is kind of like one of these Holyoke is the name of the publisher. Just one of these great titles that was kind of lost to the ages.
Yeah.
This is Chaz Quinlan art, but later issues that are even more sought after are done by L.B. Cole. So, but even these Quinlan ones are very collectible. Just a very expensive series to pick up. Actually, I'm trying to get the full run. Okay. I have like six out of the out of it. So that's my last one to show.
I don't know. You like a challenge. Okay, right. The opposite end of the golden age. This is actually a recent book, and it's just come out. Actually, it was recommended to me by one of the people who I do on the Weekly Geekly show. He showed this, and I thought, I've got to get a copy of this. I think you may actually have this, Alan, because I know this is from a guy that you like. And this is, and the reason I put it in Oddballs is because of the title. It's almost like one of these sort of sort of independent press comics you'd have picked up in the 80s. From the title, it's called Albatross Exploding Funny Books. Okay.
Oh no, I don't know.
Oh well. Okay, you're going to be interested in this because this is.
I do know Albatross Press.
And who runs Albatross Press?
Is it Dave Stevens?
No, it's your mate Eric.
Look, I saw DF. That's why a DS thing.
That's Danny. That's Danny is the artist.
Who did the cover?
Danny. That's her name.
Danny.
Okay. D-A-N-I. She's called Danny Strips.
I'm trying to remember who did Albatross Press. I don't know who did Albatross.
Eric Powell.
So Eric Powell. Oh, that would make sense. Actually, I should have known that.
This is Eric Powell.
So I like Eric Powell a lot. He did.
I know you did. This is what. Yeah. So the first story is called Terror Toilet.
Oh wow.
The toilet. Oh shit.
And you got mad at me.
I know.
Okay.
Your word was worse.
Okay.
Eric Powell. So it's and I like you switched me on to look, there's some really good Eric Powell stuff here.
Eric Powell's awesome.
You switched me on to Eric Powell. And I went out and got some Goon. And there's a character one, it's got a story from one of his Hillbilly. This is one of his ongoing characters, Hillbilly.
Yeah.
So we've got a Hillbilly story in here. Really nice. I love this sort of grey scale art by Eric Powell.
Yeah.
And there's also a Goon story in here. We've got, it's jam-packed. Ointment Bot.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, Goon made his first appearance in Albatross.
God, it itches. Ointment Bot, get in here and service my folds. The sores are chafing. And Ointment Bot saying, I was made for more than this. And then we've got a Goon. We've got a Goon story as well. So so I love it. And I thought, as soon as I saw this, I thought I've got to get a copy of this.
Oh wow, very cool.
Exploding Albatross Exploding Funny Books.
Interesting. So that's probably like an early Goon story too.
I don't know if it's an early Goon. This came out
like 90s or 2000s.
No, this is new.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah.
Oh. I
2000...
didn't realize Albatross Press was still around. I thought he was under
2022.
So I thought that he was going by some new title now, like some. I thought it was some new company. But I guess it's still Albatross Press. I didn't realize.
Funny Books, it's called. And we've got an advert for one of the books you put me onto.
Oh yeah. Can I see the cover again? Like maybe I do have this. Do I?
That is an alternative cover. I think there's an Eric Powell cover as well.
So I might have this book because the name sounds familiar, but I might have the.
This was the alternative variant cover by Danny.
Okay, I might have the regular cover.
You might have the regular, yeah.
Because on my pull list is everything he produces, everything from Eric.
Oh well, you should have got it then.
Yeah. But that's really cool.
Yeah.
Very good choice. I like Eric Powell a lot.
Me too. Yeah, you put me onto him. I'd never sort of come across him until you showed some Goon stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Goon is one of those things where they've been trying to make a movie. Like, there's actually a teaser trailer that's actually quite funny. But they keep on it. They're in production hell. Like, I forgot what company that they were with. They were with one company, then it got bought out by Disney, and then it got pushed back again. It's just all these setbacks. But someday there will be a
we will get a Goon movie.
yeah, they've only been trying to produce one for about 10 years now. So yeah, so it's awesome. Okay, cool.
So that's it, I think.
It's your end. It's your end.
It's my end. So that's your lot, comic fans. That's your 5 oddballs from me, 5 oddballs from Alan. Head over to Alan's channel and watch his show. And as I said, that's your lot. See you again next week.
Bye, guys.